Paulie Malignaggi. This has become a weekly occurrence for us, Paulie. I appreciate you coming on the program and talking, especially after last week, and you did say a lot, and I appreciate you doing that very much. Let's start at the beginning. We're there Friday. This thing is starting to kind of blow over a little bit after the interview on this show, your podcast From Brooklyn to the World, and then Friday evening, some of the footage, a couple seconds of the footage comes out, and one of it shows the knockdown / push, whichever side of the fence you may be on. Where are you when this comes out, and what is your reaction when you find out that Dana White has tweeted this?
I think it was Friday night. I was actually getting ready to go out. Nothing. I was still home, and I was like, "Oh man!" I was like, "This is." And it's funny because when the footage came out with knockdowns, pushdown, I was like, "You know what?" I was like, "This does not look as obvious as I pictured it when it happened to me." And then, it's just edited so good that I had to watch it like 3 times for me to realize, okay, now I can remember a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But, it was the hand behind the neck and, pushing down and, not a punch not landing. I remember specifically nothing landing. So I was like, what the hell's going on over here? But it was done very well. I mean, they got the money there, so they edited it very well. There's a reason it probably took them about 10 days to put that out there. They had to edit it really, really well. And, obviously once I saw it and slowed down a little bit and whatnot, it made more sense to me. And I said, yeah, this is about what I remember. I thought it was more of a push instead of a push down on my neck. It was more, obviously in the video, it's a push down on my neck. In real speed, when you're in the middle of it, you don't know exactly what puts you off balance. Obviously, when I saw the video, I had to kind of analyze it at first. And then I realized, yeah, it's clearly the push down on my neck. It's actually the result of the push down on my neck because it almost acts like a tug of war where, like when you're playing tug of war and you're a kid and then you let go of the rope and the other person goes flying. Mm-hmm. He's got his hand on my neck so strongly and he's throwing that little right hook, which he actually doesn't even know how to make the move. When I get to Vegas and do some video interviews, I'm going to show people how to actually use that dirty move. It's a dirty move, but you got to know how to do it. He's actually so stupid. He didn't even do it right when I saw the video. But anyway, so he throws a little right hook. And he kind of grazed my face with it, but his back foot is off the ground. Like there's nothing on it, even if it was to land. You know what I mean? Because this guy, he doesn't plant enough on his shots in order to get enough leverage on it anyway. But anyway, what I'm saying is he's got his left hand on my neck and he's throwing his little right hook inside, and I'm trying to pull up as hard as I can now, because in case he's going to repeat the shot, in case he's going to do something else, and he lets it go. So when he lets go, what happens? I go flying and I fall. It's that same type of effect like when you're playing tug of war. That's the best example I can give. When you're playing tug of war as a kid, and you're pushing as hard as you can, and you let go, the other person goes flying, or the other person lets go and you go flying. It was that kind of effect at the instant of that I went to the canvas.
Are you surprised they came out with this? Ultimately, were you expecting it, or did it catch you off guard that they came out with, a couple seconds of footage?
Well, as I said to Dan, when I just got on, I didn't know they were actually recording. So I wanted the footage of the surveillance camera because somebody told me in that place there's 24 hours, 7 days a week surveillance cameras in there. So I knew there was footage in the surveillance cameras for sure. I didn't know that they were actually recording. I was never told anybody was going to be recording. As a matter of fact, I was told that Conor wants no cameras at all recording. He just has his personal photographers taking pictures. So I was actually lied to like blatantly with that. But so I didn't expect a video in that regard to come out. If anything, a video was going to come out. I thought the surveillance cameras may come out with something, and they may put something out. So no, I didn't know. I didn't expect any of that at all, But Conor, what it is, like, I like the guy. Like I know what it is. He's adorable, man. He's cute. Like he's trying so hard to tell people he's gonna win this fight and legitimize himself, and he's trying so hard to prove that he's a puncher because all these MMA fans tell him he's a big puncher, and so you can tell he believes it because he talks about stories about how I was concussed after the sparring and I was stumbling. He really believes it. I think it's so adorable, because he's trying so hard to legitimize himself to the point where he's lying, putting out edited videos. He's he reminds me the little engine that could. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really cares about him in this sport. Nobody gives him any chance. And he's trying so instead of focusing on I'm going to get to the day of the race and I'm going to win the race, or in this case the fight. Instead of focusing on that, he's focusing more on trying to convince everybody beforehand. And it's it almost comes out adorable because you can see all his efforts, but then me on the inside especially, I see how fake it is. Like Owen Roddy the other day was taking home videos of the house that he was staying in, and he was trying to make fun of it, oh yeah, this is not a crack house at all. But the problem is Owen Roddy was in a different house than I was staying at. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like the fact that you went out there to try to prove that to me, and you're lying. You know I wasn't staying in that house. You know I wasn't. So now you're trying to cover something up, because if you weren't trying to cover something up, you would have recorded the house I stayed at. You know what I'm saying? So they all know they're lying. They all know it's edited. They all know the footage is edited. They all know there wasn't a knockdown. I mean, I posted a slow motion breakdown on my Twitter where, you know, you can actually see Joe Cortez enter the fray with the no knockdown symbol or whatever call on his hands. And I just remember, like I said, in real time, nobody in there thought it was a knockdown. Like, it was like so nonchalant. Like, it was so, like, the video was edited so well that it even makes it look controversial. Like, it could be, it couldn't be. Like, in real time, nobody there reacted to it. Nobody there, like, thought anything of it. You know what I'm saying? And people saying, oh, I was lying because I was talking trash before that, and he pushed me. And I was talking trash before that. Before that whole sequence comes up where he throws the first left hand that winds up behind my neck, I was talking trash. And when I got up, Joe Cortez is wiping off my gloves on his shirt, and I am yelling at him. I am talking trash as Cortez is wiping off my gloves, and we're going to continue. So, you know, you don't see any of that. You know what I'm saying? They did a nice little edit job. Luckily, like I said, I always cover myself with the truth. I told you last week, 11 and 12 were not good rounds for me. I was tired. I was fatigued. I think the jet lag even caught up to me. The fact that I'm not in 12-round shape caught up to me. So, yeah, 12 round was always going to be bad, right? And so you saw some of the footage. Now, granted, the whole 12th round wasn't at that kind of a pace. I mean, it was, you know, Conor's tired too. So they took the fastest pace and his best moment of the 12th round, around which he won. I told you that from the start. And they made it look like it was the entire round. You know what I'm saying? Actually, they made it look like it was a sequence that led into the knockdown. I mean, I know some people say they know it's not the same round, but the way some of it is edited, the way some of it is brought down in some of these videos, it's like, you know, people need to look at a shot that causes quote unquote knockdown. So being that nothing lands in the initial fray, you have to add a shot that lands. So you have to take it from another round. You know, so I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was really adorable. I thought it was really cute because, you know, this guy he's trying so hard that it almost makes you want to root for him. Like, oh man, you know what? He wants this so bad, you know. But truly, a fighter that's confident goes into camp and he does what Floyd Mayweather's doing. He shuts the fuck up and he gets to work. You know what I'm saying? And on fight night, he shows up and he wins every time he's out there. You know what I'm saying? This guy is, like I said, he's like the little engine that could. He's trying to convince everyone because nobody believes in him. He's trying to convince everyone. He's got his groupies that believe in him. Sure, mixed martial arts fans, they don't watch boxing, so they believe in him. You know, they're all about him. But, you know, in reality, he's trying his hardest not to look like a joke. And on the media day, right? When did the video come out, Ariel? It came out Friday night, right?
Friday night, yeah.
You don't notice it's a nice coincidence that it's the day of his media workout earlier that day, right?
Yeah. I mean, the timing was great for us. We were talking to Conor when it came out.
So right after his media workout, the talk in boxing was what a joke this guy looked like. I mean, I was getting my timeline filled up with people tweeting me like, this guy can't fight. There's no way he got the better of Malignaggi. This guy looks horrible. This guy can't even put a combination together shadow boxing. You know, like, it looks so bad. And they out themselves just from him working out in publicly. So now they needed something to cover this up, to kind of get the attention away from this debacle of a media workout that he put together. So what did they do? They timed the video edit perfect. You know what I mean? Where let's release this and nobody will talk about how ridiculous he looked in the media workout. I mean, it's still a running joke in boxing. Did you see the workout Terrence Crawford was doing where he was imitating Conor? Terrence and his team. Terrence is fighting this Friday. This Saturday, by the way, defending the world title. But they became like a running joke in boxing. So it was like they had to kind of cover it up in some way, shape, or form. So nice job, you know. Like I said, nice edit. It was a nice Hollywood edit. I thought it was adorable. I thought it was cute. But at the end of the day, every day you start to see holes in this little story, you know. But it got a lot of people at first. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people reacted to it at first. A lot of people reacted to it and then fell for it at first. But every day that passes, you can see more holes in this thing, and it's starting to kind of come out. Even me, I had to watch it 2 or 3 times to realize, like, there's no way this happened like this, you know. And before I started catching up to it, you know what I'm saying? But other people, when they first watch it, they're not gonna catch on to it right away. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna watch that thing 2 or 3 times. They're gonna watch it and be like, oh man, Conor's kicking Paulie's ass, you know. So it was well done. It was definitely well done and well edited.
What has this been like for you? Because I mean, I see you're going after everyone. You're not just kind of walking away. you're battling everyone that's coming after you. What has this been like for you since Friday?
Well, you know what it is? That fat fuck of Dana White, Pillsbury Doughboy. You put a white hat on him and give him a white shirt. He looks like Pillsbury Doughboy. I just want to touch him in his belly button so he can go, like that little laugh from the Pillsbury Doughboy. After the sparring, he was coming up to me trying to say nice things like, "Oh man, nice work. Like we appreciate it." Whatnot. I never liked the guy. I don't think he treats his fighters fairly. I don't think he treats the UFC fighters fairly. There's no MMA act in MMA. There's no Ali act in MMA because of him. Mainly and first and foremost, he's one of the guys trying to prevent it from happening. So no, I don't like him. I don't like the way he treats the fighters, and I don't like anything about him. So I didn't really talk to him even when he tried to say a couple of nice things to me afterwards. I wasn't gonna strike up a conversation. I'm not fake like that. So the only guy I really talked to after the sparring was Adi, Conor's manager. We had a cordial 3-4 minute discussion. But so after that, I mean, once this whole thing started with the pictures and the videos and whatnot, of course the media storm is going to come. I mean, this guy's funny because you're fighting Floyd Mayweather, yet you keep sending the media over my way. You put out pictures and the media flies to me. They flock to me. Then you put out more pictures and the media flocks to me. Then you put out this video and the media flocks to me. They all want a story. They all want an interview. They all want everything. They all want a comment. So, why are you trying to keep me so relevant? I didn't ask for any of this. I mean, now that it's here, obviously I'm jumping on it, but I didn't ask for any of it. I was strictly a part of the broadcast team. I did the press tour with Brendan Schaub and Mauro Ranallo and Brian Custer and then different places. So I mean, I was just strictly part of the media team at that point. You involved me to the point where you made me the talk of this training camp. And maybe, like I said, maybe it was by design to take away the attention away from how ridiculous he looks. And maybe they don't want it to be like that. Listen, he didn't need any promotion. The guy has enough fans, and the guy has enough people that believe in him. You know what I mean? Well, now you're going to either look really stupid on 26 or you're going to look like a genius, because it's one or the other. There's no in between here, Either you think this guy is a joke or you think this guy has broken the odds so many times that he can do it again. And that's what everybody's here to find out, right?
Okay, so here we are watching this, and there's 2 clips that come out. There's one of the push down / knockdown, and then there's another one where he hits you with a left and your head goes back. Is this part of the same sequence? Is this part of the same round?
It's not part of the same sequence. That's what I was trying to tell you before, Ariel.
Okay.
The sequence where he lands the shots, the sequence where he's actually landing, because in the push down knockdown sequence, he's not landing with a single punch. In the sequence where he's landing the shots, it's round 12. Round 12.
Oh, okay. And you remember that? You remember the round?
Yes, because I was that. Because round 12, I remember specifically. The push down, knockdown, it could have been 8, could have been 9, it was around there. Okay, I'm not, don't get me wrong. Even during my own fights, round 12, during 12-round fights, sometimes I used to have to look at the ring card girl between rounds while I was sitting down to see what round we were up to, because I was just so focused on what I was doing. So
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do confuse the rounds, but I specifically remember round 12 in the shop because I just remember thinking at about halfway through the 11th, I'm tired. I need to just finish this off because I can't quit right now because, I'm here for 12 and I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of saying I can go 12. And I'm satisfied with the work I put in tonight. I was very satisfied with the first 10 rounds,
Yeah.
And so I said, get through these last couple of rounds and you'll be good. So I remember that 12th round. I remember that sequence for 2 reasons. That shot landing and then the subsequent shots afterward when he pushed me off to ropes. I remember that because the edit cuts out right there. It cuts out when I fall into ropes. Because I specifically remember that moment that he pushed me off to ropes like that, and then I bounced off the ropes awkwardly and bounced off throwing punches. I started throwing 4 or 5 like kind of haymaker type punches. It was very sloppy. I was tired, and Conor kind of was taken back because he was chasing me towards the ropes, and all of a sudden he started seeing punches fly towards him. So he kind of started stumbling backwards in an awkward way. Nothing really landed, but I'm saying that kind of ended the sequence, and then we kind of slowed down again because we were both tired. But I remember that specifically because it cuts off right at the ropes. I actually bounced off those ropes, came out punching. It wasn't very clear. It wasn't very clean or anything, but obviously it was sloppy and we were on 12 and we're tired, but it was that was that sequence. I remember that sequence specifically because I was punching off those ropes.
What does Cortez do after you fall to the canvas? Because that got cut off there, and I was curious, does he start counting or does he say get up? What does he do?
Well, that's what I'd say you could see in the slow-mo. You can see he's waving off as a no knockdown signal.
Yeah, it's so quick that I just wanted to get your take.
Yeah. I mean, he waves it off, no knockdown. I get up and he wipes off my gloves. He wipes off my gloves on his shirt because
and that's it. And then you just go back.
Yeah, and then you just continue. Like I said, it was very nonchalant in the moment. It was a very nonchalant moment. Like it wasn't like anybody even thought it was a knockdown. Nobody reacted to it. Like it was so clear in real time. Like that's why I thought the video edit was like, wow, I was like, they did a nice job on this. It did that was a real professional highlight reel. That they did. But Ariel, one thing about me, I always cover myself with the truth. Now, you want to spin it, people want to spin it their way because I get a lot of MMA fans down my timeline and they say, oh, you lied and you did this and you weren't. Conor wasn't frustrated. Conor was actually frustrated. Yeah, that's why I got pushed down. I mean, Conor was frustrated. That's why I got pushed down. And now the push down wasn't the sequence exactly how I imagined it, but once I saw it, I remembered it a bit more, obviously, more up front because I'm watching it. And then, obviously, I remember the 12th round where it was a bad round. You know what I'm saying? I remember that specifically as well, and I remember that combination. But people are funny. Last time I think I also said the first 5 rounds, Conor hung tough. I felt like I dominated the second 5 rounds better than the first 5 rounds. It didn't mean Conor won the first 5 rounds. I mean, I got people tweeting me like, well, Conor won the first 5 rounds and then the last 2. I shouldn't have to say I kicked the shit out of him or he kicked the shit out of me for there to be a deciding round. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to tell you when somebody got their ass kicked. I should be able to tell you when somebody just won a round and it was competitive. You know what I'm saying? So I felt the first 5 rounds, I was winning the rounds. He may have won one, maybe 2 of those. You know what I'm saying? But I thought I was getting the better of it. Then I felt the second 5 rounds, I dominated them. And then the last 2 rounds, he dominated them. You know what I mean? So and this is with a guy who's basically off the couch, dude. I mean, I don't understand how anybody even takes this with any other consideration. Or Paulie just retired 4 months ago. He's still fresh. Nobody. When you haven't been in the gym, it doesn't matter if you just retired. You haven't been in the gym. You haven't been in the gym. I had just got back in the gym. So you can take that with a grain of salt as well. But bottom line is, once I left, this guy got left with nobody to work with. He's got nobody to work with. Nobody wants to work with him anymore. He's got some bum amateur and some MMA guys. How are you going to prepare to spar how are you going to prepare a spar to fight Floyd Mayweather without your sparring? Of course, he doesn't want to look like the running joke of boxing, but he's making himself the running joke of boxing without even trying. You know what I mean? If he stopped trying so hard and stopped being the little engine that could and just trained and did his thing, none of this soap opera fiasco would even be out. Do you hear anything from Floyd Mayweather's camp, Ariel? Do you hear anything at all?
No. In fact, on all access, they have been showing nothing. They have not showed a second of him actually sparring yet. They have because he doesn't allow cameras when he's sparring, just like Conor. I thought didn't allow cameras when he's sparring, so that footage will never come. But all access has had Floyd Mayweather on so many times, him in training, him hitting the bag, him doing pegs, that it's almost not interesting to them anymore. And so, but also Floyd himself. He's not trying to convince you he's going to win the fight by posting Instagram modeling the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just goes about his regimen, whatever that regimen might be. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've mentioned a couple of sparring partners that I've heard were in camp with him. Or, I don't think Errol was there the whole camp, but I know Errol sparred with him. And I know Judah sparred with him. He's got legit fighters there. And he's the guy that's supposed to win the fight. The guy who's not supposed to win the fight is sparring no-name amateurs or MMA guys. I mean, I'm not going to speak on Arm's MMA skills. I don't know them very well, but really, I mean, in the boxing ring, he was a punching bag. What did that guy do for you? What is that going to do for you? I'm actually being told right now that Dana is on Sky Sports in the UK at the moment. This is coming from someone who's listening named Tony Griffin, and he said that the sparring session was a one-way beating for 12 rounds.
Of course he's going to say that. Yeah, of course. And like I said, and that's probably the main reason why the entire sparring will never come out. That right there, because then you're going to wind up looking really stupid. Like I said, I've given you the breakdown of where I went good, where I went bad. I keep it real. And then there's moments where I'm good and there's moments where I'm bad, and I've kind of broken them down. To look ridiculous and to say it was 12 rounds, first of all, if I'm out of shape, here's the common sense part, Ariel, and you might understand this better than most. Okay. If I'm not even in great shape, and I'm getting my ass kicked every single round, how do I even make it past 12? How do I get to 12? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm not in great shape, I mean, just to take a 12-round beating, you got to be in shape.
Right.
Just to take that beating. If you're not in shape, you're not going to last for 12 rounds. There's no way. That's common sense in of itself, right? So the fact that I'm not in great shape and we went 12, will tell you common sense wise that how things went on in there, you know. And then, like I said, I'm going to tell you where I had my good moments and where I had my bad moments. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care about that. I don't have to lie. I'm confident enough in myself. I'm not the little engine that could. You know what I mean? I had my career. I know what I'm doing. This guy, he's got to fight in 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. He's going to go close to the ring, and he's a little close to the ring, and Floyd Mayweather's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to deal with it, not me. So, you know, instead of trying to convince everybody how good he is or whatnot, why doesn't he, and trying to sucker everybody and to make believers out of them, just make people believers on fight night. You know, it's very simple. You know, unless there's a confidence problem there. I don't know. Unless there's a belief problem there. I don't know. That's on them. That's not on me.
He said on Friday that people in the sparring house were worried that you were concussed and afterwards that you weren't in good shape. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I heard they were saying afterwards, too. I'll tell you what, I have an Instagram picture, because we sparred very late. And by the time I got out of the gym, it was 11, 12 o'clock. We went to eat and whatnot. So the next day, I actually hung out with a couple of friends from Vegas. I went to see Frank Mir, who I'm friendly with. You know, he was working out at a jiu-jitsu gym. And I actually posted an Instagram picture the next day. You can see how I look. I mean, common sense. I don't look very sick. Or you can even have Frank Mir on your show and ask him how I looked, you know, because I'm sure you guys know Frank very well, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that was the next day. That was not even... maybe about 12, 15 hours after sparring, you know? So I mean, I don't know, the pictures on my Instagram, you can see yourself how I looked, my demeanor. I mean, if I looked sick or if I was sick, I'm sure somebody would have noticed it or somebody would be able to tell you, because I hung out with a lot of people that next day. You know, that was the next day was a non-sparring day.
Did you see Conor's full media workout session? And if so, was there any, like I know that people are mocking the moving and things like that, but don't you think that there's a chance, and you know better than anyone, you've been in there, you're one of the few people on the planet, that's why I think that you're so valuable to the Showtime broadcast, but don't you think that there's a chance that he's kind of like messing with, he knows that the boxing community is going to react to this and he just wants to mess with people, that he's not really showing us his full hand?
Listen, it's possible. It's possible. Listen, I mean, anything's possible. You know, I'm not going to put it out of the realm of possibility that, you know, this was all one big joke to him on media day, of course. You know, but then your edited videos, your videos of your trainer talking about how great the house that everybody lives at is great, and when you know everybody does not live at that house, you know, you're trying too hard to cover other things up. So for me, the reality is subtle for them, and that they know there's a lot of bullshit in their story. You know what I'm saying? They know there's a lot of cracks in their story, because if there's not cracks in your story, you won't try to cover things up. You won't have to put an edited video out. You won't have to have Owen Roddy tell you how great the house that they're living in is. You know what I'm saying? You're doing that knowing you're covering things up. Like, they could not give you 20 seconds straight of anything concurrent in the sparring. They had edited one part to another part. And a lot of the one part that they edited was different angles of the same view of what they tried to pose as the knockdown, you know? So I don't know. You couldn't find 20 seconds out of 36 minutes. You couldn't find 20, 25, 30 seconds straight of boxing where he concurrently looked that good. Even in the rounds he won? Really? And I'm thinking, I admitted to you myself that he won some rounds, you know?
Yeah.
So like, you really couldn't find, I mean, you're doing it they're doing it to themselves. Because then when people get their heads out of his ass, and you think logically, you say, man, you know what? You know, Paulie makes some points here, you know? But, you know, people choose to be deceived. I mean, you want to choose to watch CNN, and then when the election results come in, you're totally you're totally baffled. I mean, you want to choose to do that, and then August 26th is basically the election, and you're going to sit there baffled. I mean, that's up to you, but you're choosing to be deceived. You know what I'm saying, at that point? Yeah. Conor's a showman, don't get me wrong. I mean, media day, it could be all show, it could be all this. You know, I'm sure his fans will want to believe that he does not look that ridiculous. I'm not going to get into the full tactics, though, Ariel. I'm going to get into some of them that you see on the video, because on the video you see that, you know what I'm saying? But on fight night, you know, I was my plan to show more tactics, you know? But, you know, he gives away some of his stuff, you know what I mean? You know, he thinks he can punch when he can't. Like I said, he's like the little engine that could. He's trying to convince everybody. The way he's talking about that I left with concussions and I was stumbling, that shows you somebody who's in denial. Like, he really thinks he hits that hard. In boxing, we are fighting constantly guys who have learned to punch correctly, because that's all they've been doing. Punching, boxing is strictly punching. So that's all guys have been doing. All opponents, everybody in boxing has learned to punch correctly, put their weight behind their shots, plant their feet at the correct moment. You know, I've been in crazy hard punchers. All of boxing understands the difference between a monster puncher and a non-monster puncher. You know what I'm saying? He's been given this false sense of security, like he's some kind of crazy puncher, to where people really believe everything he hits breaks down. You know what I mean? Like that fake knockdown sequence, he gets a shot behind my neck with misses. I mean, the left hand can't go behind my neck unless he misses. He has to overshoot that shot. Otherwise, it's not going to go behind my neck. Because if he lands that shot, my head is going to whiplash, right? So he's not going to be able to grab behind my neck. So he overshoots that shot. And there's people on my timeline saying that shot landed, and that's, even if it didn't land clean, that's a shot that hurt me. And then there's people where when he's holding my neck down and he throws that right hook, he's supposed to throw either a right uppercut, or what he's supposed to do is let me go, and when my head shoots up, time me with the hook. He didn't do either, because that shows you the lack of intelligence he has when it comes to that kind of striking. But he misses the hook. But even if he landed it, you see his back foot. Look at that slow motion. His back foot is off the ground. That's where you're getting your leverage from. You know what I'm saying? So even if he lands that little right hook inside, his back foot is off the ground. You got nothing on it. It's an arm punch. Even if he lands it, which he didn't. But what I'm saying is, this guy's like, again, I'm going to refer to the little engine that could. Like, he's sitting here trying to convince us all, like, I'm this puncher, I'm this. But you got to learn to punch before you can be a puncher. You know what I mean? This is not mixed martial arts anymore. You're fighting guys that are used to getting hit. They're used to understanding this kind of pop, this kind of power. And they'll not respect you if you don't do it right, you know? So you know, I don't know. He's trying too hard. My advice to him, if there's anything, the next 12 days, shut the fuck up and get ready for Floyd Mayweather, bro. Stop talking about me or putting out videos or pictures. Stop putting out things that will draw the media to me. Draw the media to yourself, bro. You got 12 days left.
Are you worried at all about any NDA action or anything like that?
No, I was not paid. And everything that came my way was from their pictures and their videos. Everything that came my way was from their pictures and their videos. So no, I'm not worried. And I was never paid.
Okay.
So, frankly, I don't care. I don't need their money. But no, I'm not worried about it at all. I would not have had a need to speak to any of the media if the rush hadn't come my way because of what they put out.
You're going to work the broadcast on the 26th of August, right? This has become somewhat personal. Is it going to be hard for you to remain unbiased on television?
No, because here's the thing. I always pride myself on going with tactical breakdowns, and there's things, like I said, I've saved for the broadcast. Like, you know, there's things people have in mind about him on the inside and advantages that they think he might have or whatnot on the inside, and then maybe his disadvantages on the outside and whatnot. I'm going to get into those more on the broadcast. I want to save those because that's where I pride myself on my analysis, is that kind of analysis. I pride myself on analysis that a lot of people can't give you, you know? That's why I'm able to actually break down the push-down knockdown sequence so well, because I'm breaking it down for you as if it's not even me on there. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you how it went down and walking you through how it happened, you know? So the same way, I have this tactical these tactical things in mind that I'm going to break down and I want to give some possibilities of what might work, what might not work, and things of that nature. So really, I never really allow opinion to get into my broadcasting. I've always tried to never do that because at days end, most of the time I like the fighters anyway, and I don't want to show favoritism. So regardless, I try not to leave any room for much opinion.
I was kicking myself last week because I didn't ask you this question, so I'm so thankful that I have you back on here. Before I let you go, I must ask you this. When you first came on, before you flew out to Vegas for the sparring session, I was kind of asking you about what you think his chances are. Now, again, there are maybe 5 people on the planet that can talk about sparring Conor McGregor. After being in with him in the ring twice, and let's forget about, you know, the bad blood and all that, do you think he has a better chance at pulling off this upset? Or do you think after the experience that he has less of a chance of beating Floyd Mayweather? Did that change your opinion initially after the experience of being in there with him?
You know what, I want to answer the question for you. I really do. But I have a job at Showtime that relies on their pay-per-view buys. and I can't go one way or the other. You know?
Okay.
I'll tell you in private. I can't tell you on the air.
All right. Fair enough. I must ask you this as well. You have been referencing St. Patrick's Day, 2018, things like that. Do you hope to fight him next year? Yeah. At this point, yeah. I mean, at this point, because here's the thing: when you don't like somebody, you don't spar them; you fight them. You know, you do one of two things actually. You either fight them, or you do what Ricky Hatton used to do, the Junior Witter. You just never mention them at all. You never let them get pressed. You never bring them into the forefront. You never do. So you do one extreme or the other. You either go all out and you fight them with small gloves when you can do damage, or you don't mention them at all and they get no press.
This weirdo didn't do either of those things. He constantly put me in the press with these edited videos, edited pictures and whatnot. And now it's picked up a ton of momentum. So, yeah. So now the bad blood is there. Now we got to fight.
Okay. Do you think it will happen?
I don't know. It's not up to me. Right now I'm focused on how he looks against Mayweather. Because if he looks like dog shit against Mayweather, I don't think anybody's going to want to see him box again. So first and foremost, we have to see what happens in 26, how it happens in 26 as well. And then, we can kind of go on from there. Right now I'm focusing on broadcasting that week. Sure. And working for both Sky Sports earlier in the week and then Showtime later in the week. So that's more so my focus at the moment.
But are you kind of like secretly hoping he wins because do you think that it increases your chances of fighting him, or do you think that a close loss increases your chance of him sticking around? Like, what are you kind of thinking with your heart here?
From a business perspective, I'll put it like this. As long as he doesn't get the living shit beaten out of him where he looks totally lost in there, which is a possibility, but as long as this doesn't happen, I think, there's enough of a demand that you can make the fight. Now, if he wins, obviously it's a big demand. If he loses and he does a couple of decent things in the fight, yeah, you can still create a demand. If he gets absolutely the shit beat out of him for 6-7 rounds and gets stopped or quits even, which is not beyond the realm of possibility because Floyd, doesn't have one punch power, so he'll beat you with a submission. If that doesn't happen, then you have the possibility. If that does happen, I don't think anybody's ever going to want to. I don't think anybody's ever going to be interested in watching this guy box ever again. So you can't really look at any of this until you get the result of the 26th and you see how that result comes about on the 26th.
Right. And fair to say your hope, I mean, you've already looked at the calendar. St. Patrick's Day falls on a Saturday. That would be the dream scenario.
Yeah, I'm a businessman. Once this all started coming out, once I started getting tweets about Malignaggi and McGregor and whatnot, sure, of course, I said, what makes sense? Sure. I understand this business very well. I've done well in this business, and not just in the sport. I've done well in the business, so I understand how it works very well. So my eyes went to the calendar when I started seeing how much this was buzzing. So we'll see. I
appreciate your honesty. I think that does over $1.5 million at least. Depending on what we don't even know what happens, but I appreciate you being honest about that. Could I finally, because this is probably the last time we speak before the fight, could I ask for a prediction, or are you not allowed to give one?
It's going to be hard to give a prediction. Because if I say Mayweather, people are going to say I'm hating, and then if I say McGregor, people are going to say, what are you out of your mind? So, I in my mind, I kind of have an idea what's going to happen. I boxed him. I know Mayweather, and as far as what his skill set he brings to the table, and I have an idea, but I can't give a full out prediction because, like I said, I work for Showtime here, and
sure.
We're relying on buys.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know if you saw.
Are you going to be in Vegas Fight Week?
Heck yeah, I'm going to be there all week. All right. Yeah, I hope we see each other in person
for sure.
Okay, fair enough. But I just wanted to say, Paulie, I don't know if you saw, but Conor's MMA head coach John Kavanagh, who I'm sure you met, actually had some very nice things to say about you on camera. Would not say anything bad, and said he was really thankful that you came and all that. So I know it's kind of ended in a bad way, but.
John took the high road, and I appreciate that. I could care less though. I do not have any. I do not have any liking for anybody on that team. I know what they did. I know how they treat people. I was there. I know how people get treated. I know what they've said and what they've done. I have no care about how nice anybody is over there. It doesn't really matter to me. Like I said, I think Conor's adorable in his effort that he's trying to basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to give this perception, this image of things that are not there. I think it's adorable. I think it's cute that he's trying so hard to do that instead of focusing on the workouts. But no, I don't really have anything to say about whether anybody's trying to be nice or not.
Fair enough. Paulie, you have been more than gracious over the last month. I really appreciate it. I'll leave you alone, at least for now. I look forward to seeing you in Vegas. You're working for Sky and Showtime? Did you say that?
Yeah, the actual broadcast, I will be working for Showtime. But
okay.
I work for Sky Sports in spots during the year when I get free from Showtime.
Oh.
Like sometimes the fights that Showtime doesn't cover, I'll work them with Sky. A lot of Sky Sports fights are up on Showtime, so unfortunately I can't give Sky that time because I owe Showtime the time. And obviously, this fight is one of those situations where Sky would have wanted me, but I have to give Showtime my priority. They're my main job. But during the week, they've hired me to do some fight week coverage, like, some stand-up stuff. And,
Okay.
We'll get into that as well. So, so I'll see Dan there as well.
I'm sure your fans, your new fans in Europe will love that. They continue to.
Yeah. Actually, I have a lot of fans in England. I always say, like, the boxing community in England is huge and it's great. And I probably have more fans in England than I have in the U.S., which is funny, But so that's another reason why I always enjoy getting some more game with Sky Sports as well.
Appreciate the time, Paulie. Thank you very much. All the best, and we'll see you out there in Vegas.
See you soon, Ariel. Thanks, man.
All right,
Bye-bye.
there he is. Paulie Malignaggi works for Sky Sports. Showtime has that podcast From Brooklyn to the World. I appreciate him coming on. And to all the people who are saying to me, oh, I don't usually get into this, but if you want to look at the numbers of when Paulie came on, there is interest here. And I appreciate him being honest with the fact that, yeah, he has looked at the calendar, and yes, he wants this fight. And I don't know if the fight is going to happen, because we know that Conor has said as recently as Friday that he is coming back to MMA. And we know that there is interest in a third Nate Diaz fight. And we know that the UFC would like him to fight one more time this year as far as MMA is concerned. But boy, oh boy, is there a feud there. And you cannot tell me that there will not be an immense amount of interest, any arena on this planet, between these two. If Conor fights again in boxing, he's got his opponent with now weeks of buildup. So he's in a very good spot. And of course, if he wins, holy smokes, the world is his oyster.